Hey everybody, we're gonna get right into this. Tried to make this as short a video as I could. I still ended up with 25 minutes. I had to cut out all of my honorable mention weapons. It was a 44-minute video. So here we go. This is the Raid exclusive sword. It Stared Back. You can get this from inside the Leviathan Raid or from the vendor at the tower after you've beaten the raid via raid coins. It is a phenomenal sword. I have every sword in the game except for the Hunter exclusive and the Titan exclusive as far as I know. And this is by far and away the best one. A lot of swords in the game have a perk that gives you increased ammo with consecutive swings. In other words, you have a high health enemy, like a yellow bar, strike boss, or a raid yellow bar, and you keep hitting them with the sword and you get ammo back. A lot of swords have that. A lot of swords have where you hit an enemy like that over and over again with the sword and you get more and more damage. This sword has both of those. And as far as I know, it is the only sword in the game that has both of those perks. A lot of them have one, a lot of them have the other. No other sword has both. So this is, if you're using a sword for anything and you have access to this sword, this is the sword you should be using. If you don't have it, I recommend going out and getting it. Fantastic sword for anything you needed sword to do. Hawthorne's Field Forge Shotgun. The best legendary shotgun in the game for PvE, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions. It's full auto, got plenty of impact, plenty of range, 7 rounds in the mag, great reload speed, does everything you need a shotgun to do. Kills stuff, kills it quick, staggers them so they're not hitting you. Get it, upgrade it, kick butt with it. That's all I could say about it. Okay, Merciless. Ooh, Merciless. Merciless is a great weapon. Zur sold it, I think, the first week. And if you didn't pick it up, shame on you. It is fantastic for boss DPS and even good, really good fusion rifle for single target, like lower tier enemies. It'll take out just about anything low tier in one shot. And you'll have an increased reload speed as a result of that. And then if you come across a higher health enemy, you land consecutive hits on that enemy without killing it. And the more times you hit it without killing it, the faster it will charge up the next shot. So as you're pulling the trigger for the next shot, and then the next shot, and then the next shot that you're putting into a boss, it's going to shoot faster and faster and faster and faster until you empty the magazine. And actually, there's a few perks in different skill trees of different, like Hunter, Titan, and Warlock, or pieces of armor where you can get around that and reload the weapon where it will automatically, it'll still have that without actually reloading it manually. You can, like a Hunter can dodge roll, reload the weapon, and it'll still have that fast fire rate as if you were still in the same magazine. So really good weapon. If you got it, use it. Hold on to it. Go get it if you don't got it. Great gun for boss DPS. One of the best ones out there. Okay, Sins of the Past, the raid exclusive rocket launcher. Comparing it to Curtain Call here, these are the only two that have cluster bombs in the game. So it makes these two rockets the most powerful rockets in the game by pretty much far and away. So what makes Sins of the Past the number one, in my opinion? It has auto reloading holsters. So when you shoot a rocket and then put it back in your inventory and use your energy weapon or your primary weapon, wait a couple seconds, that rocket's reloaded. Then you can switch back to it, fire off another rocket. So what I like to do in the raid at Callus, I will shoot a rocket, switch to my energy weapon, unload that, empty that, switch back to the rocket, fire another rocket. No reloading necessary. It's a higher DPS. I enjoy it.
Home your skills. Look, boy, you in the danger room. Yeah, you in the danger room. Come on now. It's like a dream. Everything moving fast, but you moving slow. Chase the tempo, watch, we on time. Hey, now you know. Listen to the rhythm we giving them, we bringing it with passion. Smashing, you should just move to my groove. Case in point, watch how I improve. Then the automator is ready, you know we're hater, a music motivator, and I'ma show you later. But right now we getting down. You frown, cause I surround your sound. With rhythm that's raw rhymes that really get ya. Do your silly do like a Philly and I split ya. Hit your hard style showing out. Exhale long and blow 'em out.
The Legend of Acreus Raid Exotic Shotgun. This thing is a ton of fun. It's not the best top tier heavy weapon in the game, but the fun factor is way up there, and it is actually really good in Crucible, but that I'll save for another video if I ever do my Crucible loadout. So this thing has a very wide spray, very wide area of effect, and it overpenetrates, so you can basically, if you have a group of enemies in front of you in PvE or PvP, you will just obliterate them. Up to a certain distance, of course, because it only has so much range to it, and the range fall off is pretty abrupt. But it is great for shooting packs of enemies, and really good actually for shooting, once you've got the 2 shots in the magazine, really good for shooting high health enemies. I mean, the reload is pretty slow, but you can work around that, and it's just fun to use. This is basically my favorite one just because of the fun factor of it and the exclusivity of it. Not many people are running around with this version of it. I've yet to get the ornament for it, but I want to get that too. And yeah, if you can play the raid and get a hold of this shotgun, I'd recommend playing with it. It's fun, it's powerful, gets the job done. The 450 round per minute archetype of auto rifles, the Uriel's Gift, the Number, and the Jiangxi AR-4 that you can get from the gunsmith. And also there's the origin story, but that goes in your primary, your kinetic slot. So these are the 3 in the energy slot, and these are the 3 of the best auto rifles in the game. This whole archetype is just fantastic. And you really can't go wrong running any of these 3. The Uriel's Gift, you've got high caliber rounds, which are going to stagger your enemies, so they're not going to be shooting back at you or charging at you while you're shooting them. The Number has high impact reserves, so you're going to be doing extra damage when you get to the end of the magazine. And the Jiangxi AR4 doesn't have any of those really necessarily niche perks. It does have hip fire accuracy, so if you're one of the kind of person that likes to hip fire, maybe that's the one out of the three for you. But it does also boasts the highest stability, and I believe the highest reload speed, maybe even the highest handling of the three. So it does have some better overall stats, plus it's kind of more unique looking than the other two. Kind of has a funky stripped down look to it that I kind of like. So you can use any one of these three, and you're in good position. You can put out good damage. Your stability on all three is fantastic. Each of them's got a different perk that sets them apart from one another. So if you kind of get a little bored with one, or you want to try something different, you can switch to one of the other ones. I'd recommend getting all three and just playing around. The Mananan SR4 Scout Rifle. Mida multi-tool archetype. Explosive rounds, which is what makes the Nameless Midnight in the kinetic slot seemingly everybody's favorite scout rifle. So if you want a Nameless Midnight for your energy slot, here look no further than the Mananan SR4. Handles great, reloads good, and it's got those explosive rounds. the Sunshot. This is the Destiny 2 spiritual successor to the Fatebringer from Destiny 1. It's got a great reload speed, it's got explosive rounds, and when you shoot your targets, they explode, which is so many of the traits that Fatebringer had. Fatebringer had Outlaw on it. When you would shoot a target and kill it with a precision shot, you would get a faster reload. When you killed a target with a precision shot, you would get the Firefly perk, which would cause them to explode, and it had explosive rounds. So this is basically an exotic successor to that, and it shares almost all the traits, and in a lot of ways it's better, because you don't have to land a precision shot in order to make your target explode when you kill it, and you don't have to land a precision shot to get a fast reload. It's already got a very fast reload just the way it is. Really, really good hand cannon. If you want to run a hand cannon in your energy slot and you don't have your exotic taken up by something else, run this. You will not be disappointed. You take out an enemy in a pack and it's going to take out the whole pack. It's just fantastic for groups of low tier mobs. Lots of fun. I love it. Origin Story Auto Rifle. Fantastic Vanguard auto rifle. I was actually partial to the Scavelock and then the Ghost Primus at first, but this has become my new favorite lately. It has a perk on it called Rampage, where you land consecutive kills, and it stacks more and more damage the more kills you get in a row. So you get one kill, it activates a perk, another, it adds more damage, and then the third kill adds even more damage. Works really well for mowing down mobs. And finally, number 1, the Nameless Midnight. Nameless Midnight is just a phenomenal scout rifle for your kinetic slot. I mean, it's really not an amazing gun, but it is, for the kinetic slot, it is one of the best we have access to right now. The explosive rounds are really effective for taking out enemies and taking out surrounding enemies, or for shooting something that's behind cover. It's got good range. I love it in PvE and PvP. Just really good workhorse of a scout rifle. Can do anything that you need a scout rifle to do.